This story has been living inside me for a really long time, and it kind of is like this snowball that is like rolling down a mountain. It kept accumulating and accumulating.
There was a lot of start and stop to that script development stage, you know, finding the right writers, started thinking about cast, so it took a long time.
We shot this in the height of the pandemic, pre-vaccine.
Action!
We had to change locations at the last minute. It was having a really strong plan and then pivoting constantly.
We just need one good one.
I got thrust into the director's seat, and then from then on, it's been a ferocious process.
We leveled up on the challenges.
Only a weakened man can benefit from this. Only a strong man can survive it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I've been carrying the weight of this story for like 8 years of my life, and I finally get the opportunity to tell it. And I'm so, excited to be doing it here in Indonesia, in Batam, with all of you. You're all so talented. You're bringing a whole universe to life in this city that we're creating.
We were meant to shoot in India, and then this thing called COVID happened, and we had to pull out.
It was a catastrophe for the film, and then we managed to find another glimmer of light in Indonesia.
You know, I had this contact in Indonesia, Mike Wolawan, who sent us this drone footage of Batam. And he said, come here, we'll bubble you, we'll get everybody into the country, and we'll shoot, you know? So then I call Dev, and I tell him, I have an idea. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Dev and I landed in Batam, looked at each other and said, this doesn't look anything like India. We had to find locations that we could dress up and then build the other areas of sets and stories within the soundstage. So because we said it's a heightened city in India, costume designer on set, he started showing us pieces that was actually a little different than the traditional India. And then Dev would push that.
I love this.
He sort of thrives when there is a challenging situations, which there were many. We had to use the same extras in so many scenes. They had to get even more creative.
Go back, go back.
I had a wonderful crew. It was a huge group effort.
It's literally our own creation of this country that we love and admire. It was quite inspiring to see Dev come up with ideas and solutions and constantly just keep going forward. You know, he's a fierce warrior.
One more.
At its core, this film is an anthem for the underdog and the everyman who has to face so much adversity, so much failure, and supported by other underdogs is only when he realizes his true potential.
Go push in a bit more so there's less drip. You know what I mean? So you're getting more into the sink, the drip's really on us.
His sort of leadership and ideas to push everyone to elevate the work was something very special to see.
Yes! One more! That's the best one. That's the best one.
Dev is unbelievable. There are few people in this world that I have come across who are that passionate. He's pure passion. When he says something, there's something to back it up. He's extremely intelligent.
You get it? Yes. Make sure you don't drift too far that way, yeah? Loved it.
I'm tipping my hat to the directors that I have been lucky enough to actually share a set with.
Wow! That was amazing.
As a director, he is very precise, he's very particular, he knows what he wants.
Let's do one more. Sorry to be a real finicky, annoying person.
You keep giving him takes and you don't feel tired because he comes and briefs you something which you have not thought.
Look up. Wow! That is how you should have seen.
The way he explains is very important. It's not just, I want one more. He took out what I was not expecting out of me.
You can do the ahs a little quicker.
You don't even realize with Dev that you're being directed. He will get what he wants because he is an actor. So therefore, he knows how to communicate.
But staying there for a bit, looking at your leg, your knee. Hand cut, we got it. That was my favorite one. Let's do it again.
He has to handle the whole set, directing. At the same time, I have to act with him. He's figuring out the frames and his directing. And it is so amazing, like switch on and switch off. Once everything is done, he comes back as a kid, act with me.
Look, yeah, look!
What's wrong, man? At such a young age is amazing.
It was quite amusing, though. Sometimes we'd be acting and he'd be looking at the monitor and giving me lines, like an out-of-body experience.
Gorgeous. Yeah, got it. Let's go again.
We didn't have enough people to paint the rest of the wall, and he was painting the wall.
Looks like he's crying. It's amazing.
And then he'd drop it, and you go, action, and then act in it. He's he's everything.
Wow!
There was a moment in one of the many catastrophes where, you know, we got dropped by our studio for various reasons. And, you know, I was off licking my wounds, and then I get a call from my agents being like, you know, do you know Jordan Peele? And I was like, of course I know who Jordan Peele is. Like, well, he's watched your film and he really liked it. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really sweet. And he's like, yeah, he wants to talk to you. And I was like, what? And he's like, now, right now.
Monkey Man first came to my attention as a film that, if we liked, we might have an opportunity to pursue. And the first I heard of it was an action movie with Dev Patel. I heard that he also directed the film. My mind was blown that someone could try and direct themselves in this way.
Nice! Got it, cut, we got loads of shit.
Jordan Peele saw a slightly older cut of Monkey Man, and he fell in love with the film.
The first thing he said was, I want you to tell me everything that you've been through. I know it's been a tough journey. It was like a therapy session.
For Jordan and Monkey Paw to sit down and tell us, you have no idea what you got. You know, that was like a huge boost of energy. Like, we're like, okay, well, we got to get to the end of the line, you know? We went to Universal, and then we saw their excitement, and we're like, maybe we did something good.
Collaborating with Dev, it's the best idea wins.
If I'm making a point to him, if he's making a point to me, he knows that my mission is to help him execute his perfect film.
It's not an ego thing.
Woo! Magic!
Monkey Paw has been nothing but great. It was the perfect boost of inspiration we needed at that point, and we took some of his notes, we tossed it back and forth.
Jordan lifted it up, brushed the dust off, and put it back on the mantelpiece and gave us a second life.
It was literally like the Hijras coming in to just kick ass. That was Monkey Paw and Jordan.
I poured all of myself into this. I wanted to infuse it with some culture and social resonance, along with, you know, some cool kicks, punches, and the odd elbow here or there.
It's not every day that you see a brown man in an action genre.
You know, for me and for Monkey Paw, you know, the idea of representation and our big genre stories in a way we haven't seen is always going to be, you know, front and center for us, because those are the movies we really are longing for. Dev has created very distinct holy shit moments. There's a lot of, oh, oh, oh!
It's been a blessing, it's been an infliction at times. You know, there's a quote in the film. It's from an Indian philosopher. It goes, the pain will leave you once it's finished teaching you. And that became one of the core tenets that one of the characters says, and like it kind of encapsulated the whole film for me.
That's a picture wrap on Monkey Man.
What I was most stunned by when I watched the film was that the action topped the best action films you see around.
This is a genre I love so much. You know, I wanted to infuse it with some culture and social resonance, along with some cool kicks, punches, and the odd elbow here or there.
It's gonna be wonderful.
There's something about the action sequences, and particularly about the violence in the film, that is perpetually cathartic. As you're watching it, it's so fucked up that you have to giggle as it's happening.
Yeah, I think people might be surprised when they see me drenched in blood, you know, biting a knife into someone's neck. I mean, I remember the first film that really captivated me. I snuck downstairs and watched Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon through the banister way past my bedtime, and I was utterly enthralled.
the film is obviously gritty and cinematically beautiful. And then Dev, as a physical performer, has such a unique action quality to his movement.
We had this sort of dysfunctional kind of stunt team, you know, because language was a huge problem, but they all spoke with their hands and legs.
It was born from another kind of catastrophe where we couldn't fly in our amazing stunt team, you know, because of border closures and for various reasons. So, you know, I'm on YouTube late at night and we find this guy, Brahim, who is an amazing French-Moroccan stunt choreographer living in Thailand with the most amazing team. His stuff was incredible. And I got on the phone with Brahim and I'm like, you know, we have a full crew here and I need you here yesterday. And he came down.
Yeah, whoever is on the ground dead, okay, somebody translate. They should be in pain or dead.
The script was really detailed in these sequences and Brahim just ran with those and precisely executed them.
3, 2, 1, action! Throw this guy here, one, we're gonna throw him, so this will get smashed.
Very early on in the process, I'd spent a lot of time with the stunt team. One of his guys, Steven, who was like shooting his previses on a small handheld camera, you know, who's also a great stunt man. I was like, you know, we could use Steven to actually shoot some of this action. You know, he's a ninja, he's a stunt man, so he could be dancing with us.
Okay, hey, roll sound!
He knows where I'm gonna be before I do it.
Go!
And that allowed us to not cut the sequences up as much and find a sort of flow. So they're cuttier at the beginning when he's not trained, and as his journey progresses and he gets better, it becomes this sort of like violent ballet.
Dev was able to act in these sequences that were so well choreographed, had such fluidity, had so much character, he blows us away.
You know, I wanted to create an action hero that, you know, wasn't like bursting out of his suit. He had to be a believable waiter in this place. So, you know, the idea was like to try and get as close to Bruce Lee shredded as possible. So it was lettuce, sweet potato, and salmon 3 times a day, every day for months, while the crew was having the most delicious Indonesian food. And I would wake up in the morning and be doing all of that action choreography. The characters, hopefully a more attainable, more realistic look at what an underdog Avenger would look like.
All right. Got it!
From an action standpoint, it opened up the world for so many other opportunities in the movie for us to see things that we hadn't seen before. The wrestling was interesting because we were trying to find a new way to fight. Plus, they were wearing costumes. All of the fighters are rooted in animal mythology.
King Cobra! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
You know, I broke my hand in the middle of an action scene. I had to do all the choreo one-handed for part of the film.
There's a bathroom fight where Kid and Rana has this intense fight, which was great until Dev did this move and his hand got stuck in Rana's jacket, and Sikandar moved and Dev broke his bone. And he came in and he said, oh, I think I sprained my thing. And there was like a balloon. I'm like, we should go to a hospital, or we should get our doctor. He said, no, let's keep going, let's keep going. And then we went shooting that bathroom fight scene on the floor with dirty water and all these moves. And the doctor came in, he looked at it, he said, 100% is broken. We had to find this private medical jet that would fly us to Jakarta to put a screw on the bone here. So if you look carefully, you'll see in scenes he has this bandage over his hand. It's not costume, it's not by design, it's actually because his hand was broken.
Isn't she beautiful? I call her Nikki. Minaj!
The chase sequence involving Alfonso's custom tuk-tuk is extra hilarious, I think, for Westerners because it has a kind of quotational Eastern flavor. Three-wheeled vehicle we're used to seeing when seeing documentary footage of crowded cities in India, now put to the test along the lines of a Fast and the Furious mobile.
You know, a lot of movies, when you do a car chase, it's like two insanely tricked out, awesome cars, right? In this one, you're rooting for the tuk-tuk, and it's fun because even in that layer of the film, Dev has weaved in that David and Goliath motif.
First time I saw the film, I laughed out loud that under the duress of being chased by the police, Alfonso recommends turning on the turbo.
Turbo! Turbo!
From a safety standpoint, it was also a nightmare because the way to like turn it and move it very quickly, there's not a lot of cushion.
Bam. Nice. That's cool.
You know, all I can say is Dev has created a very distinct action vibe. It's beautiful, it's tragic, it's violent, but above all, what Dev has managed to package it in is something that feels really cool.
Spooky.
This guy!
It's been a ferocious process. And for even the people that don't know the sort of cultural touch points, hopefully it's just a bombastic, fun ride. These incredible actors came at a really trying time in history and gave me their all. It's really been a blessing.
Characters are written fictionally, but they are also based on some characters, and when actors come there, they should create that bridge between fiction and reality.
Jordan.
This movie is particularly heartbreaking and poignant. And we witness the intervention by good and bad characters in this story.
So you are the one.
Queenie, it's in the name. She's the queen. But queen of what is the question. She comes in as a very interesting and a powerful person. सड़क पे खड़े रह के गांड मरवानी है 500 रुपए में?
She's sort of like the mother figure, but she's also the abuser.
Don't cry. As soon as Dr. Irani is back, we'll take care of it. Why she is like this? Why is she such a devil? We don't say that, but she is scary. Face the wall. She's very strict. She's very aggressive.
Stop staring at me!
Anyone who talks outside these walls, anyone who steals, anyone who messes with me
Doesn't turn out well for them. Understood?
And when she says that, she means it.
Nishchit said you needed me.
I need you to learn some manners, you inbred little goat fucker. I don't think she would spare anyone for any small mistake.
You motherfucker!
And that's where she is badass.
Don't fuck with me! I'll kill you, you bastard!
I'm gonna blow your fucking...
Sita, for me, this is a girl that was probably picked up, plucked out of her home, maybe sold by her parents or kidnapped. Maybe she was groomed when she was a child by this woman, Queenie. She's been created like to be a fantasy put on sale. This is not the place to work if you can't handle that sort of stuff. She's at a point in her life where she wants to just get away and she wants to do this right thing.
Rana Singh, he is possibly the worst person.
Why did your mother send you back for more?
Rana is basically the police chief, and he's a mean guy. Chalo, 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 bhai. There's almost nothing good about him. I mean, there's not almost, there is nothing good about him in this film. He's evil, he's bad, he's just something that I can't relate to in any way. So I had to find something in this guy which could justify how I would play him. It's about revenge, you know, this whole thing. And when there's that kind of good, there has to be that kind of evil, and Rana is that kind of evil. He's the kind of evil that'll step on the poorest souls in the world and finish them.
The great tapestry of life, just one small ember can burn down everything.
Baba's Shakti. The meaning of Shakti is power. The Baba who was powerful is a master of yoga, and you have the good and the bad.
If I see a God-fearing man who is doing good for India, I will support him.
So these two things, the body is of a yoga guru and mind is also of a yoga guru. And if you start using your power for the evil side, then what happens?
He will fight with us. For us. For you.
You remain the master, you remain the powerful Baba, but at the same time, there is a calmness to the character, which often is being seen in mythological characters as well.
Anger will not quiet your soul, my son.
Bad characters or the evil characters are more evolved because the simple reason is they know how to just be powerful.
The gods must have a greater plan for you.
I play a character named Alpha, who's the leader of these transgender people who live in this ruined temple. We are kind of outcasts. We are not part of the mainstream society.
They find us too unsettling.
We live there. We actually feed people who come to the temple, and we accept everyone without really worrying about their castes and religion and whatnot.
All your life you've been fighting to feel pain. You need to fight for a purpose. Fight for all of us.
Alpha becomes kind of a channel for Dev to kind of regain his strength, and I part with him that knowledge that we have.
I learned that you need to destroy in order to grow. To create space for new life.
So that he becomes a powerful man and goes out and fights the evil forces in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Shalto Copley, amazing actor. He is one of those actors that you can tell him, look, this is the scene, these are the lines, and then he's wild.
Are you ready for a fucking fight?
And you just got to let him do his thing. He plays Tiger. It's a representation of a man that has lived in Yatana, the fictional city that we've created in India. He sees the country and its people through a very narrow lens, and he just wants to make a buck.
Woo! What a surprise, eh, guys?
He wants to use these guys and get out.
Put on a show, get the money.
You know, and he plays that role so well.
We, all worship one God. The Indian rupee!
What the fuck you been, man? I nearly finished it all waiting for you. Because of our situation, we react to things in different ways. So, character Alfonso is like, I personally feel this is a bad guy with a good heart. And maybe a person with good heart is living in a bad world.
Hey, brother! It's just fine, bro. Come on, we'll go it out.
When we were working hard. We were on the set as the characters, everybody. My co-actors like Sita, Rana, Sobhita, Sikandar Kher, Pitobash. We were family, we are friends. It's a beautiful film. I'm very happy to be a part of it. I'm very lucky. I feel blessed.
Thank you!
ये कहानी हनुमान जी की तुमने सुनी है? नहीं?
Hanuman is a god in the Hindu mythology that is half monkey, half human. He symbolizes strength, courage, protection, kindness. Hanuman was this little monkey that wanted to reach for the sun. He thought it was a juicy mango and wanted to go touch it, but the gods punished him for doing that.
उनकी सारी शक्तियां छीन ली.
They don't even see us. They're all up there, living. I'm stuck here. And
So what are you gonna do about this, monkey man?
there was a time when I really ran away from my cultural heritage, my Indian cultural heritage. Then in the inception of the script, I was like, you know what? You know, sometimes to break the mold, you've got to be in it. And so I doubled down and pulled from all of these beautiful, textural, philosophical parts of the culture that I even didn't know and have injected it into the story.
Whoa!
At its core, it's about my ancestry.
It's the representation of society or power to say you stay in your lane, you're not meant to aspire for better.
And like, how do we challenge a system that is so huge and kind of untouchable to us?
I was once like you, a broken man, a slave to childhood terrors.
Without that element of the perception of hubris, it would be a more simplistic story. But that really interesting moment where Hanuman reaches for greatness and is punished for that is a really interesting reconciliation of what an origin story could be for a character.
These are the hands of a warrior who's destined to challenge the gods.
That whole ingredient in the story of the white monkey is the most important element in this story thematically.
I've had so many people come and go, you know, we've been waiting for this sort of representation for a while. I remember the first film that really captivated me. I snuck downstairs and watched Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon through the banister way past my bedtime. And I was utterly enthralled by this man with a similar pigment to me, dark hair. To take those kind of influences, plus the kind of Bollywood cinema that my parents were also watching, and mash these things together to make this, you know, kind of bombastic, strange cultural cocktail, which is me. Slightly awkward and unruly at times too, but with a lot of heart. For me, this is just my humble offering.
It's been inside me my whole life.